Welcome to another episode of the Complete Performance Exercise Breakdown. We're in week 4 of this squat progression series, and this week we're taking the load from the front in a front racked position into the back for our first variation of the back squat. There are so many different variations of squats, but now we're progressing into that high bar back squat. One of the great things about the high bar back squat is the way the bar is positioned on your back is it does so in a way that forces you to stay upright. If you are to lean forward, that bar is going to roll forward. If you lean backwards, that bar is going to roll down the back. Another great reason for this high bar back squat is that it does take away some of that tension in that low back because the higher position forces additional core engagement in order to stabilize and maintain that upright position. So I'm going to first show you where to set up from a posterior view, then I'll walk out and in a forward and anterior view and show you how to perform the high bar back squat. So first thing with the setup is you want to make sure that hand placement is comfortable. Find a position that you can evenly match the hands and be comfortable with. Get underneath that bar, and that bar is going to be on top of the traps. The elbows are going to be underneath the wrists, and we're going to lock that bar into place. It should not move up, down, left, or right. Now, as I turn around to show you how to perform that motion, notice hands are in an even stance. I line mine up on the outer edges of this ring. Going to come, bar is going to be on the top of my traps. Walk out from the rack. Feet are going to be a little bit wider. As you progress through these squat progressions, feet get a little bit wider in your stances. Elbows are going to be tucked underneath the wrists. I'm actually also going to think about pushing my hands out, which helps to tighten up the shoulder joint overall. And my first movement, I'm going to bend my knees and my hips at the same time, pushing my hips down to the floor, opening up my knees, and then driving back up. Notice the bar does not cause me to lean forward or backwards, and I'm going to really tighten and engage that core down into the bottom. Drive through those heels. It is normal to feel like you're going to rock forward for a second. That just means that you need to think about pressing down through the middle of that foot and driving, keeping that weight over the center of the foot there. High bar back squat is one where you're going to get a lot more quad work. You're going to get a lot more core work. Still great for glute activation, but it's going to force you to stay in that good neutral spine position so that we don't cause further back injuries or that will take away from the true areas of benefit. So play with the high bar squats. Start with a blank bar. Add weight as you start to progress. Start with sets of 10 to 12. Shrink those reps down to maybe that 6 to 8 range as you start to add some volume. But use the high bar squat to teach you the proper form for the back squat. So that as we move into next week's progression, the low bar back squat, you're set up with good form, good technique, and you're ready to add the load that's going to really add some strength benefits. Thanks for checking out this week's episode of the Exercise Breakdown, week 4 of the squat series. Look for the final episode next week as we take this through and all the way to the end here.